Listen to the 48 Hours podcast for shocking murder cases and compelling real-life dramas from one of television's most watched true crime shows. Go behind the scenes of each episode with award-winning CBS News correspondents and producers in Postmortem, a weekly deep dive. Listen to 48 Hours wherever you get your podcasts.
Inspired by the life of the savvy and ambitious Colombian businesswoman Griselda Blanco comes a new Netflix original limited series. Griselda tells the story of a devoted mother who, with her lethal blend of charm and relentless savagery, creates one of the most powerful cartels in history. Witness Sofia Vergara's captivating transformation into the godmother of the underworld. Griselda, now streaming only on Netflix.
Burn again, burn again, burn again, ABCs. Welcome to the Bare Naked ABCs, where we review every Bare Naked Ladies song alphabetically from 7 to Y. And joining us tonight, we have
Aaron.
And we also have with us, I'm really happy, and I know Aaron is extremely happy. We have with us this week the wonderful comedic singer Richard Cheese. He's well known. He's got a ton of different albums out there. Thank you for joining us, Richard.
Well, thank you.
Yes, hello, Mr. Cheese. No relation to Mayor McCheese, I assume.
Aaron.
Great to be here. Thanks so much for having me on the show.
Should we call you Richard? I'm just going to assume we should call you Richard. So thank you for coming on our program. It is a genuine honor for you to come on.
You know, I always listen to your podcast, and it's really great to finally meet you and to be here in person. So thank you so much for inviting me.
I'm a big fan of your work. I am contractually obligated to compare you to Black Velvet Flag, a comedy lounge act which covered songs by punk bands, perhaps most famously institutionalized by suicidal tendencies.
I think that's enough, Aaron. I don't want to annoy our guest.
Annoy him? Geez, I was praising him.
Well, nobody likes a sycophant.
Harsh.
So, what do you have for albums out there that people can go out and buy?
Well, we have a bunch of CDs.
Yeah.
Excuse me one second. Yep. I'm so sorry. I should have turned my ringer
yes,
off. Hello? What? Whose Lamborghini? What? Oh, sorry. Whose Linguini? All right. Which hospital? Okay. Bye. Okay, bye. Bye. Okay. Hey, so sorry to cut this short. There was an emergency. Something about pasta and a caulking gun. I'm not sure what's going on, but I've got to go. Thank you so much for having me on the podcast. Don't forget to buy my CDs at shop.richardcheese.com. Thank you. By the way, it is so weird that you have a giant creaking wooden door in your podcast studio. Maybe get some WD-40 for that. Thanks again. See you later.
I think you scared him off, man.
What?
You compared him to Black Velvet Flag. That's like saying that Pink Floyd is better than Fish. I mean...
What?
What?
I don't need this, Tracy.
No, Aaron. No, Aaron. All right. I don't know what I'm going to do. Oh. You know, Jeff always said... Hey, Jeff.
Yeah. I'm here.
I know you said that like you would come in a pinch if we really needed you. I really need you tonight. Aaron has walked out. Richard Cheese left the studio.
Oh.
Aaron left in a huff. So I'm hoping that you would be willing to join me tonight.
I am kind of known as Richard Cheese's second fiddle, so that I'm okay with that. Yeah, I can jump in here. That's good.
He walked out on us, so I'm going to say you're better than Richard Cheese.
You know, I'll take that. So, I've sold almost as many albums as him. not. But you know,
or not. Okay. Maybe number of albums total, and not per like each album.
You're right.
Maybe that way.
You know, it's kind of weird actually. I was sitting by my computer just waiting, hoping that Richard Cheese would actually cancel. So
really?
That's what happened. Yeah, I put the kids to bed. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be ready for this in case Richard Cheese does bail, because it's happened before. Where I've had to be his second fiddle. So I was ready to go.
You weren't by any, and this might just be a conspiracy theory. I might be totally out in left field here. You weren't by any chance making a phone call just before I called you.
I might have been actually, but.
I don't know. Things aren't adding up here, Jeff. So, Jeff, do you know what song we're covering this week?
I have no idea, actually. I'm so ready to go. I'll just jump in on anything.
You should probably know. We're covering "Get in Line," the Bare Naked Ladies song that they wrote for King of the Hill.
Everybody open your mouth. Everybody just say everything'll be alright if you play along.
Oh, okay. That's actually one of my favorites. I'm on board for this.
Great. So as you probably know, they wrote this for the King of the Hill soundtrack.
Yes.
They were asked to write this. They also released it as a single and a 5-inch promo album. But then they also added it onto the Disc 1 All Their Greatest Hits album later on.
Right.
One of the only 2 reasons that I actually bought that album, because I had all the other songs already, that I didn't have this one.
Right.
It reached number 18 in Canada and was number 28 on the U.S. Billboard Adult Top 100. Top 40. So it's really interesting that they decided to do this song. I don't know if they were big King of the Hill fans. They've never come out and said it, but the song is specifically written about Dale.
Yes. Yeah.
And to have they never mention him in the song, but we'll get into it when we get to the lyrics, but the song is very, very specific about being about Dale.
Right. And definitely the references are there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
It's odd that this is one of those songs. So Stephen Page and Ed Robertson wrote the words to the song, but the music is actually given credit to Page, Robertson, and Cregan.
Right.
You don't see that very often. Usually you just consolidate who helped write this rather than splitting those things up.
Right, you get the Page Robertson credit, and then that's pretty much it, or you get maybe a Hearn or a Crean in there. But yeah, in this case, they split it up.
So there are some really cool facts that I was able to pull up online about this song. First of all, in the liner notes for Disc 1, All Their Greatest Hits, Stephen has this to say: I think this one might stretch the definition of greatest hits, as the King of the Hill soundtrack, from which it comes, has only sold about 3.5 copies worldwide. However, it does have a video that features cartoon versions of us, and it does have the glamorous distinction of having been written in the dressing room in Cologne, which is in Germany, and a hotel room in Copenhagen, Denmark. And so we can actually, for one of the few times in BNL history, pin down the actual times that they wrote this song.
Right.
Because they were in those cities on June 30th and July 1st of 1999.
You sound like a forensic scientist right now. We know exactly where they were, based on the evidence.
I was not trying to follow them at the time. There's no proof that maybe I was outside their windows watching them do this.
Ironically, I believe it was July 10th that the PFA was issued on you, wasn't it?
There's no proof of that.
Okay.
There may be proof, but you'd have to go into the old archives to find that.
You were going through their trash, weren't you?
I would never do that.
I referenced the line to the song, by the way.
Nice reference. I like that one.
In your trench coat.
I was totally wearing a totally black outfit.
Right.
The whole thing, whole way through. Yeah, I mean, I may have been. If I were to do it, and I didn't do it, but if I were to do it, I would totally be following and walking behind a cardboard tree.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Like that's the only way to do it right.
Yeah.
So on the fan boards, there were 3 major facts that they put out there. Tyler Stewart has mentioned the recording of the song was the first time the band used Pro Tools in order to do the drum fills in the post-production.
Okay.
I was really hoping that Aaron would have stuck around tonight to hear that, because I think he would have been all over that. Because Pro Tools is an industry standard software for digital recording, and he's always kind of hinting at the drum fills being electronic and filled in by computer. So,
right.
Aaron, you walked out on me, bud.
Maybe he'll come back.
Maybe he'll walk back in.
He's really heard about the whole Richard Cheese thing, though. But
he is. He's very disappointed. I think he's standing outside the window right now watching us. Honestly,
I think so too. Yeah.
Second fact: an episode of the podcast recorded during the Bare Naked Ladies Are Me sessions, during a segment called "What Were You Thinking When You Wrote That Song?" Stephen and Ed both mentioned that the song's main guitar riff was originally written for a cover of Stay by Oingo Boingo.
What?
That was recorded for a movie soundtrack, but they never released it. And then the band started using it for their cover of Duran Duran's Rio during live shows before they finally decided to use it for this.
They just had a random rotating guitar solo that was just floating through covers?
Yep.
Okay. All right. One of these days, boys, we're going to use this for something.
And they did. But that may just be conspiracy. It may not be true.
Right. If some random animated Fox show comes calling, we're going to be ready.
It's not like they hadn't worked with Fox already on animated.
That's true.
For their TV.
Yes.
Yeah. And then number 3, according to Steve in the video's commentary on Bare Naked Ladies, and I didn't mispronounce that.
Right.
His own caricature, he thinks, looks more like Howie Klein, and Ed's looks more like David Kahn, who were both producers employed by Reprise Records at the time.
Okay.
So random facts about this song as given by Ed and Steven.
By the way, I actually do know this video very well, but when you recently sent me the link to the video, it's not working at least on my phone. I wasn't able to open it. It said the video was not available.
That is interesting.
I don't know what's going on there, but
let me see if I can put it into my web browser right now and make
this
it
was on
work.
this was on my phone when I tried to open it recently.
So the song is about conspiracy theories.
It is, yes.
And I'm wondering if someone doesn't want us to watch this. I'm wondering if it's It's All Been Done podcast has gone about behind the scenes somehow and made it so that this video doesn't work, so we can't review it this week.
I don't know why, but I blame the Illuminati.
Not the aluminum body?
The Illuminati. Nice. Okay, now I've got it too. Yeah. Okay, so
I think that It's All Been Done podcast must have done something to it during the week. So you
briefly, yeah, right.
They must have had some idea that Richard Cheese. Wait a minute. Richard Cheese walks out. You come in. Like, you couldn't see the video. I am going to write to them. I think that Saker has been up to something this week.
Plus the random outgoing call from my phone to Richard Cheese. Sorry, nothing.
Wait a minute.
Nothing.
No?
Yeah, no. No. That was.
I thought I heard you say something.
That was something else. That was
okay.
That was my phone call to David Duchovny. I apologize. That was.
Oh, totally understand that.
Right.
I try to call him at least 3 times a day. The restraining order does not cover phone calls.
It does not. Correct.
No.
Man, Stephen Page has some moves. By the way,
I love his kicking. Let's get to the video. Like, I love his kicks in this video.
And I'm sure we're going to talk about this, but also in the Juno Awards video, the Juno Awards when they did the song. I don't know how he does it. He moves the entire song and still doesn't miss a beat.
No, and he's not sweating.
No.
How does he pull that off? If I was dancing like that, I would be totally dripping.
Yeah.
So the video was directed by Phil Harder.
Right.
Phil Harder has done over 180 music videos. This was the first one he did for BNL, but he also did Pinch Me, Too Little Too Late, You Run Away, Testing 1 2 3, and Another Postcard. All amazing videos in my book.
Right, yes, yeah.
Especially Pinch Me and Another Postcard. Like, in terms of telling a story, those are great videos. But he's also done videos
especially Pinch Me, but yeah.
He's also done videos for Matchbox 20, Liz Phair, Prince, Incubus, Hilary Duff, Foo Fighters, Cranberries, Lisa Loeb,
Chainsaw
and Bobby
Kittens.
McFerrin.
He did a video for Chainsaw Kittens.
Oh, I don't know that was.
I don't.
And many other bands I didn't recognize the name of.
No, I'm looking through the list right now, actually, but yeah.
Like, this is a very storied career. Like, he's done a ton of stuff.
Oh, Cranberries too.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did a Cranberries video. That's cool.
And the Lisa Loeb one he did was her big one. Like,
right,
Ideal.
Stay.
Like
yeah, he did Stay. Yeah.
Oh, he did Stay as well. So he did 2 of hers then. Because he also did I Do.
He did a Liz Phair song too. I'm a big Liz Phair fan.
Did.
Yeah, nice. Yeah.
So, I mean, he's had a very storied career. This video was shown on the Bare Naked Ladies DVD, Bare Naked Nadies, as well as the King of the Hill Season 1 DVD as a special featurette.
Right.
Disc number 3, which was specifically put forward for Dale Gribble.
Absolutely.
So here, I like the video. There's some really cool little things if you stop and watch the video, if you're watching all the background stuff throughout this video. So at 53 seconds, Ed jumps up, spins, but almost knocks over his microphone while he's doing it, and he starts to laugh in the background. And Kevin sees this, and he starts to laugh, and then they cut just before we can catch Kevin lose it.
Right, so clearly we caught an outtake on this one.
Oh, yeah. And then at 1:10, Steven steals Dale's cigarettes and then plants an explosive in it.
Right.
But when he puts the packet back, he puts it to the wrong side. So he's putting the packet of cigarettes into the tree instead of into Dale's pocket, and Dale pulls them out of his pocket.
Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
Someone messed up on that one with the animation. Or with the direction. Something happened there. And then at 3 minutes and 13 seconds, Ed's doing kicks again, falls down onto his microphone stand.
Right.
Like, this is full of outtakes, but they don't care. They're having too much fun.
I think they were just having too much fun making it. And I'll get to that when we talk about the song. I mean, I'll talk about my feelings about this song, and it kind of goes along with that, actually. But
I love the cartoon versions of themselves that they put in here. I love the spy versus spy kind of feel that they got going on in the video. Right. They're hiding behind the props, hiding in the underground bunker.
Right.
If you don't watch King of the Hill, you're gonna miss a whole bunch of the little inroads and gags. But it's hilarious.
And the same with the song, the lyrics of the song, obviously. But yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Jim just looks so cool on that double bass, though, by the way.
Oh, he does. And he is rocking it out.
He is rocking that double.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, I think Aaron might be coming back in. Aaron, come back in, please. Please. Thank you. Can you please give us a breakdown of this song?
Okay, let's break it down.
Breakdown. Aaron's gonna talk about chord structure and time.
Get in Line was recorded at precisely 124 beats per minute, which is interesting, fairly unusual for songs with Stephen Page, at least thus far in my experience. Seemed like they used a click track for it, or perhaps electronic drums. It's in the key of E major. It's got this fun, bouncy, and funky groove, and I really dig it. It's built primarily around a fairly simple 1-4-5 progression.
Oh, here we go again.
What?
Well, it seems like you say that in every other analysis.
Well, I mean, it is a very common rock progression. It's sort of the building blocks of blues, and...
Well, the next thing I know, you'll be comparing it to They Might Be Giants.
Well, it's kind of quirky and fun, like a lot of their songs, but I don't know if I would compare.
I mean, at least you didn't bring up overrated EO Head.
What?
You heard me.
We don't blaspheme in this house. No, you know what? I don't need this, Tracy. I don't have to take this kind of abuse from you. I've got hundreds of people dying to abuse me. You know what? Get in line, man.
But
Get in line.
Why was there a door slam noise? Oh. I may have insulted Aaron.
Man, that man holds a grudge, doesn't he?
Yeah, I don't think I give him enough time to cool off. Maybe he'll come back later.
Maybe he'll get in line.
We'll
I don't know. We'll see. Let's give him about 4 minutes, or
Yeah, something like that. So, Jeff, why don't you tell me what you think about this song? Let's break into like the feel of the song and what you like and don't like about the song.
So, full disclosure, when I had the chance to do this song, I've been on this show now. This is my third time, which I believe gets me the T-shirt. I think
so. I think you have the honor.
Right. This is my third time on this show, and I knew this song was coming up.
You're up there with Tom Hanks, Steve Martin.
I've reached that SNL level of hosting or co-hosting or allergically scaring off the rest of the BNL podcast crew, or something. But no.
There are people out there that think that you're allergic to Michelle, and it is not true. That is just conspiracy.
I am not allergic to Michelle. I think Michelle is allergic to me, but not the.
I think that's a conspiracy too.
Oh, you got the Sarasota guy again. Achoo! But anyway. No, but
sorry, what were you saying?
But I was excited about this one. And I've talked previously about my love of BNL and how I got into them. And I'm definitely a lyrics guy. That's what I do. I do lyrics. And for me to get into a song, it's got to just be something I can connect to lyrically, or that I think is lyrically genius, or something musical. I'm not a big my wife, and I think I mentioned this too, my wife is definitely a catchy person. If a song is catchy, she likes it. I typically am not that person. I've got to find something to it to enjoy it. And BNL never disappoints on that level. This song for me is different. I don't know if I would say that it has that absolute BNL awesome, profound lyrics thing. I don't know musically if I would say that. But God, I love this song. Absolutely.
Well, it's not profound.
No,
they
it's
do
just
a lot of play on words, a lot of fun with kind of referencing Dale throughout this whole thing.
Right, and I it was early on in my love of BNL that I got the Greatest Hits album. Like I said, I think I got into them around the time Maroon was out. I'm positive Maroon was my first album. I got Stunt. I think Greatest Hits was my third album before I really delved back into, Gordon and, Maybe You Should Drive and the early stuff and Born on a Pirate Ship. But, so I think Greatest Hits was my third album, and this song came on. To this day, if I'm driving and if I put this song on, the windows go down, and I'm jamming out. I absolutely love it. I was a King of the Hill fan, and there's just something about this song that gets me every time. I love it.
So wait, are you saying that when you hear this song, you're dancing in your car?
I am dancing in my car. This is one of those songs that makes me full on start a crash dance craze. Plug. Yeah.
If you haven't heard it yet, go out and buy his album, because Dancing in the Car is one of the great songs that's on it.
I would love to talk about that. We're in the middle here. I would love to talk about the creation of that song, because that song was never supposed to happen. But yes, Dancing in the Car is a song on my album, Deep Fried Superhero, which is available on Bandcamp and iTunes and Spotify. It's a parody of Bruce Springsteen's Dancing in the Dark, and it's a fun song, much like Get in Line, by the way.
Yes.
But yeah, lyrically, like don't get me wrong, this has probably my favorites. I don't want to say my favorite. I mean, The Flag has so many great lines in it. Brian Wilson has so many great lines in it. By the way, I loved your tweet recently about Brian Wilson. That was amazing, because you can't be a BNL fan and not love Brian Wilson. It's but That said, all the amazing lyrics they've done, this has to have probably one of my favorite stanzas they've ever done, ending with, whatever could they want from me? Is it just a part of a giant government conspiracy? I gotta go see my doctor about this itchy pentagram-shaped rash. Absolutely brilliant comedic line. It's so good.
Like, and it fits. Like, they're not just grasping for rhymes here. Like, it fits everything that's going on in this song.
It fits. I'm sure someone's rummaging through my trash. You know, as a lyricist, you know, where are you going to go with that rhyme? I know that when I write lyrics, I've got some songs I'm working on the second album right now, and I'm really happy with some of the rhymes I've come up with and some of the jokes, and I do it on my first album, I hope. But you know, trying to come up with what's not a rhyme that you're gonna expect, because whether you do it consciously or subconsciously, when you're listening to a song and you know it's gonna rhyme, you're like, okay, I know what rhyme is gonna follow here. Right. Trash and pentagram-shaped rash is not a line you would ever have expected to come out of his mouth.
No, you might see rash coming, but you're not going to see the pentagram shape.
You're not going to see that whole subversive conspiracy theory, supernatural, just brilliant, and even just the and I know it's a syllable filler, but itchy just adds to it. The itchy pentagram-shaped rash. Such a great lyric, and
that is one of my favorites.
Yes, and truthfully, when I knew when this song was coming up on the podcast, because I've been following along with where you are in the alphabet and everything, and I knew the song was coming up. You know, as soon as you mentioned it, I don't know if I've listened to it in the last few months, but as soon as I knew it, literally the last week or so, I've been walking around singing this song. You know, I'm walking through work. I work when I'm not when I'm not making music and all that good stuff. I work at a day facility for disabled adults, and I'm walking down the hallway. Everybody, open your mouth, and I'm just everybody just say ah ah. And actually, someone stopped and they're like, "I love that song," and I'm like, "You're my new best friend at work." You know B&L's get in line. We're now besties at work, so.
Well, and they don't do Beach Boys surfer, the 50s surfers type sound very often.
Right.
But it really fits so well with this song. Like, it's a happy-go-lucky song about conspiracy.
It's about a dude who's literally losing his mind. Yeah, it's about paranoia, but it's a fun paranoia, and I'm into that. I like the dark stuff. I'm an X-Files fan, and I like Rockwell's "Somebody's Watching Me." I think until now was probably the quintessential paranoia song, and this song just nails it.
Well, and one of the great things it does is so you have this really, really poppy chorus, but the verses take it down a step again, and you're almost dragged into his, like, confidence.
Right.
He's kind of you almost get the feeling like waiting for the video before I ever saw the video. You're waiting to see the person go, looking back and forth to make sure no one's listening, and then kind of pulling you in and giving you his view on the world.
Yeah, you're paranoid by proxy. Paranoid by Proxy might be the theme of my next album, actually. But, yeah, Paranoid by Proxy, I like that.
That's a great
I like
album
that.
name.
That was just completely random. But,
you gotta keep coming on more often. You come up with these great ideas when you're talking with us.
Yeah, actually, for the album, for the second album, you did mention, we talked about the chafing for the first time when I was first on. And I'm like, I'm going to make this work somehow, because the second album is very experimental. And I just don't care what I put on there. I don't care, who I'm gonna impress. It's just this second album is gonna be for me, and hopefully people are on board. I'm taking some crazy stuff to parody. I'm doing it in a very kind of unusual way, and I actually have a few originals too. But nice. I'm like, this chafing for the first time, I could make this fun. I could do a rodeo bare naked lady song. All this is probably gonna get cut, but I don't care. But
only if you wanted to.
Well, we'll see. But yeah, I definitely am working on that song. I will let you know.
Yeah.
But like you definitely are on board with this guy's paranoia, and then he ropes you back in with that chorus, and
oh my goodness,
and of course the first time
it's almost like someone's walking by, and he's like, "Oh, I gotta get back into a normal conversation. And I'm just gonna blare and make these big pronouncements,
and I'm gonna bring my boys. I'm gonna bring my boys along. They're gonna harmonize my paranoia, and it's gonna.
Oh yeah, I love the harmonies in the background.
The harmonies in the background, and especially in the live versions where they actually add a few extra things because they have the "everybody open your mouth, everybody." They add that little bit that's not on the studio version. But the end of I could just go on about this song forever. But the end of the second chorus too, because you're already on board with the "everybody open your mouth, everybody just," you're already on that. But then you get the "everybody get in line, everybody turning cough," and it's just so funny, and that works so well for it right there.
You don't see it coming.
You don't see it coming, and it's great. It's fantastic. And that's where you get your title, too, with the "everybody get in line." And it just works. It's such an amazing. And then don't get me started on that bridge.
I like the bridge. I don't quite know how it fit in. It's not their strongest bridge ever.
It's not.
Like, there's much stronger bridges.
Yes, yeah. It
but
does.
At the same time, it's a good bridge.
But you're still on board with it. Because, like I said, this is one of those songs where... it shouldn't necessarily work. It's very much a B&L song. Like, unlike when we did previously when we did 4 minutes. But, this is very much a B&L song, but it's not the same B&L song that we've had before. But yeah, that bridge just, for some reason it works, even though it's unusual lyrically.
Now it says in here in the lyrics, it says, so for the bridge it says, "Consult contemporaries if there are some to see." The version of it I found, because there aren't any, like in any of the liner notes, there's no official lyrics anywhere. So people put their own lyrics up online. It says, "There really isn't anyone else who's in my lane." But that doesn't rhyme with any of the other stuff.
Right.
It sounds more like "anyone who's in my league" when I'm listening to it, which would rhyme more with C.
I hear league too, but yeah.
Okay, good. It's not just me. I've not been singing it wrong all these years. Well, I may have been, but at least I'm not the only one now.
Yeah, no. I think he went for the rhyme because the first two lines rhyme. It sounds like it's going to be an AABB basically, and it's not. With myself and health, so that's where you think he's going to go, so that's unusual. Plus, I can't help but shake, and maybe this is a reference I can't be the only one who gets this, but "dictate a memo to myself" really makes me think of the Simpsons / They Might Be Giants line, "memo to myself, do the dumb things I gotta do." I know it's probably unrelated, but it does make me think of that line too, with the "memo to myself, do the dumb things I gotta do,"
Yeah, but it could be. It wouldn't be beyond them.
Right.
So let's talk a little bit about Dale for a minute.
Okay.
This song was, I think, very much about Dale.
Right.
How much do you know about Dale and King of the Hill?
A decent amount. I have watched the show, so I can see where the definitely the conspiracy theory plays off. I mean, Dale was extremely I don't want to say anti-government, but I guess that would be correct. But very suspicious of the government and,
oh, definitely.
Constantly questioning everything. Very conspiracy theory oriented. So the song really flows along with that.
Well, and the part that really combines in well, especially with the video, that also matches in with Dale's conspiracy, is that not only was he a conspiracy theorist, but whenever an actual conspiracy was going on around him, he would totally miss it. He was oblivious.
Right, yes.
Which happens in the video over and over again, and happens throughout the song over and over
They
again.
play off the fact that, he never quite sees. He's basically the Scully of the show. He never gets to see the evidence.
Exactly. And then he's also, the other thing is really interesting that they put in the song, they changed it up a little bit, but one of the big things for Dale is that his wife has been having an affair throughout pretty much the whole entirety of the show.
Over a decade, yeah.
And he never catches on. Like, at no point in time is he ever caught on about this affair.
Right.
However, the one time that his father kissed his wife, and it was completely innocent, he was angry with him for 20 years.
Right.
So once again, completely oblivious to truth, but like he's so close.
Right.
His wife is having an affair, just not with his father.
Right.
And his father, you know, it's really sad because his father was just trying to hide his homosexuality from Dale and turned around to kiss the closest woman who happened to be Dale's wife.
Right. Yes.
And
they do
song.
handle that storyline so tactfully too. I mean, they do it so
Yes.
well.
I'm glossing over it, but both of those two storylines is handled really well. Like, one of the amazing things about Dale is that he really does love and care for his family.
Right.
His son, who he thinks is his son, is not his son.
Right.
And you know, it's obvious to everyone but him that it's not his son.
Right.
Because the person that his wife's having an affair with is one of his good friends, who is of Native American descent, and it's very obvious.
Right.
So he cares about his son so deeply, and is always doing everything for his son, is always giving for his son. And like, I think that says a lot about Dale as well. Like, he might be a bit of a nutcase, but he's a very caring nutcase.
Right. It's a
really
lovable cast. I mean, the whole cast is so lovable. You know, they handle the jokes well. I don't know why. It's still totally off topic, but like the one joke that still always sticks out is this is a weird one to reminisce about, but I just remember the toilet episode where they were discussing the low flush toilets, and I think about it with my son too, because my son we're working on the whole bathroom thing, but the whole one more flush line that comes out when Bobby goes back into the bathroom, but but the show was so smart. It was it was so, I mean, it was definitely compared to some of Lord's earlier work, which we're all familiar with, but but I mean, it was just it was a great show. The characters were lovable, and I think that the song really plays off that. The video really plays off it.
It does. There's one more trait that they put into the song. There's one more trait that Dale has, that he's full of contradictions.
Right.
So there's another contradiction he has that they put into the song and constantly work it throughout the video. He's very boastful and outgoing with his schemes, but he also turns to a coward in the slightest sense of trouble. And so it's like, you get that in the lyrics of like, I'm trying to pretend that I'm relaxed, but I'm playing castanets with my knees. And it's just, and then he's also like loves his family fiercely, but then is very shallow with his friends at times. And it's once again like, I wish everyone I knew hadn't sold out to the man. So like, they keep working these references in throughout the song.
Right.
So, interestingly, connecting to our interview with Dave Foley 2 weeks ago, the original character was supposed to be voiced by Stephen Root, but he felt it didn't fit him. As he said, the character didn't fit him, and so he backed down, and they had someone else voice it. But Stephen Root was on News Radio with Dave Foley.
Right.
So. And then, of course, the other thing that they're referencing in the song is that bowling is a huge part of King of the Hill.
Right.
The
whole Elaine's line.
To the point that, like, national bowling tournaments are dedicated to King of the Hill.
Right.
So, and then, the line is, like, they put it right into the last verse. Like, every night at the lane, someone thinks they've got to find beyond me. That's not the right line. It has a fine bead on me, I think is supposed to be the correct word. Once again, a bad lyric. I don't know why they want to find Beyond You. That doesn't make sense, but...
No, I was actually, I actually was looking up something myself because I was curious, and I found something I didn't know, but the, well, I mean, I did know, but it drew the connection that Dale smokes the Manitoba cigarettes, which are the official brand of the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. And in the live Juno, the live performance of Get in Line by Bare Naked Ladies, of course, you have the Mounted Police there. The Mounties. Yes. So I just saw that little connection, which made me chuckle a bit there.
And if you watch that all the way to the end,
which
is a wonderful little
watch it all the way to the end. Watch it to the end.
Yes. I'm not going to give away what happens, but please go and watch it all the way to the end. It is wonderful.
If you want to see BNL like you've never seen them before, watch it.
It is so much fun.
That's what we'll say. Oh, man, that's great.
I don't have a lot more to share about this song other than I really enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Yes. I like I said, when I knew this one was coming up, I had to jump on board. And of course, I'm going to keep trying to jump on board when you hit certain songs. But for me, this one is the fun BNL song. It's the one that it's just funny. It's well written. It's a comedic song. And like I said, it's the one that, if it doesn't make me think or feel, it's definitely the one that gets the windows rolled down and I start jamming every time.
Right. And I think that's an important thing. Like, this isn't the Brian Wilson, this isn't the Break Your Heart type of song.
Right.
This isn't for you.
It's not the Flag,
Right. This is the I'm gonna have fun King of Bedside Manor type song.
Right. Yes. Yeah. That is a good comparison. Right.
And they do. They play that dichotomy very well. Like, we can go all the way to the silly end where we're a comedic band. We could go to this very serious end where we're going to wow you with our empathy toward these characters.
Shopping is another example. I mean, there's another example of just a fun song that's comedic.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I'm going to say that tonight our rating system is going to be, and I'm waiting for it to pull up. One of the characters on the show that I really, really enjoyed watching is one that you can very rarely understand. But he has one of the best names in the entire show. It's Boomhauer.
Right. Yes.
So I'm going to ask, how many Boomhauers are we giving this song?
All right.
So let me switch over. Aaron, I'm sorry I called Radiohead overrated, especially with that really lame joke that No, that's me undercutting the apology. Aaron, I'm sorry that I called Radiohead overrated. I don't even really believe that. I just wanted to get a rise out of you. Will you please come back in here for the end?
I'll come back in the room.
What room?
But only because this is a great song and I want to give it my rating. I like this song as much as everything had changed. Hey, it seems like things have changed here. The vibe definitely has become a lot more confrontational. Everything is strange. Anyway, I like it as much as everything had changed, but for very different reasons. That song is more contemplative and gloomy, so of course I love it. And this one is fun and bouncy, but it's just so well executed and catchy, especially that bendy guitar and bass line, that I couldn't really help but nod my head to the beat. I'll definitely be coming back for this one. I give Get in Line a solid 4.5 Boomhauers out of 5.
Well, thank you, Aaron. I know, I appreciate it. Thank you.
And now I'm leaving.
Why? We want you to stick around.
I'm angry again for no reason. See you soon, everybody.
Aaron. No, he did not say that. Jeff, you tell him you didn't say that.
I never said that. I would never say that.
You see, no, he's better than Richard Cheese. Come on.
Absolutely.
All right. We don't have Michelle, but Michelle did send in.
I've never seen a man carry so many 6-packs. Poor guy.
He was setting. He brought them in for us
right.
tonight to celebrate the song, knowing that that's what they drank on King of the Hill. And
right, I know. He's gonna down them all himself now.
That's pretty impressive. I mean, give him credit, but wow.
Jeez.
Go to it, buddy. Yeah. Good job. So while we're waiting for him to hopefully finish those up, Michelle, what do you think about this song?
Hey guys, this is Michelle with my thoughts on Get in Line. I like the song. I've always liked this song. It's fun. It's fun having Steven in there, and I love the soaring bridge that Steven adds to it. Of course, that's one of my favorite aspects of the B&L songs is when he lets it rip on the bridge and just adds that. He opens the door to the emotional window, I guess. But what I really loved about this song is the video. I've always been a King of the Hill fan, and it's fun to see the guys from B&L interact with the characters from the show King of the Hill. And it's fun how they do that because King of the Hill is an animated show. So the video is cool, and it just shows their spirit of fun and enjoyment of what they do or how they did back in the day. That's it. I don't have a lot to say about this song, except it's fun. The video is great and just adds another level to it. And I give this song a 3.75.
All right. I'm gonna throw my thoughts in last. Why don't you tell me how you feel about this song? How many boom hours do you give this song, Jeff?
Okay, so what did I give the last one? I think it was 4.5. And how do I compare this with the last two songs? So,
let's see. I can tell you. Just give me a second here.
You've got that down there.
4 seconds for. Nope. You gave it 3.5 orange traffic lights. And you gave...
We did 3.5. I gave Falling for the First Time, I believe, a 5, I think.
Flying all the way to the top. That's way up there.
I went high on that.
You gave Falling for the First Time 5 stains.
Okay. So, 5 stains, right. Okay, so I think for this one, I can't quite give it that level that I would give Falling for the First Time and some other songs that I may potentially be on for. Because... to get that amazing 5 Boomhauer rating, it's got to have the punch, the lyrics, and everything. That said, I absolutely love the song. I think it's fantastic. It does what it set out to do. I'm gonna give this 4.75 Boomhauers.
Wow, that's a good score.
I'm gonna give like I said, just because the lyrics work where they need to work. It's fun. I'm gonna give it 4.75. Simply on the fun value alone.
Yeah. No, I totally understand that. I was struggling this week with this one because I don't want to put it on the certain level of certain songs.
Right.
But I also have to understand, as you were saying, this isn't the seriousness of Call and Answer. It's not the seriousness of Brian Wilson, or it's more on the level of even so, it's not Alcohol. Alcohol is a very serious song that's done in a very fun way.
Right.
This is fully a playful song, and it's meant to be as such. Right. Another Postcard would be a comparison type song. So using those songs as my comparison, I like this better than Fox on the Run. So I'm going to give it a 4.6. 4.6 Boomhauers.
I can see that. Yeah.
All right.
Like I said, if we were to rate this on a different scale, if we're looking at a War on Drug scale or a Flag scale or a Great Provider scale, that kind of thing, it's a different scale, and that kind of, Brian Wilson, it's a different scale. But I don't want to downplay it because of that, because I think it is a fantastic song in its own right. And like I said, it's just one that you just can have a lot of fun with. And in that sense, it works.
And I can't hurt it for that, but it's got to be on different. Same thing as with the children's songs. It's got to be on a different scale.
Right. Exactly.
5,
right.
But it's
right.
not the same.
And it's definitely we're rating this. It's the apples and oranges scale, I think, compared to some of the other stuff.
Definitely.
And this is an orange, I guess.
I almost forgot to mention the appearance for this week are the 2 times that they actually played this live. One of which is the 2000 Junos, which we were just talking about. So go out and watch that. And then there's another live performance I'll also be posting up. And those are our 2 appearances for this week. Tell you what, I was looking through here, And I think there might be another person that has you on appearances at this point. Or 2 people.
What?
I think Justin and Andrew from the Monster Squad Minute actually have 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they've got 4 because they did the trilogy. They did the Snack Time trilogy.
Oh, okay.
So you're gonna have to come back here on another song, and then I can give the T-shirt back to you. I can give it back to you.
Okay, that's fine. That's fine. That's fine. I haven't looked at the list in a while, so I don't know what we have coming up from this point on.
Well, next week we have Give It Back to You, but I don't think we have someone else coming for that one. So
okay,
but we definitely will have you come on.
Okay, sounds good.
So you can earn your shirt back.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely want War on Drugs, but that's way probably in 3 years.
Oh, that's putting it nicely. 3 years. Oh my goodness. I don't even want to look at where that one falls on the shelf. Oh,
I'd be up for maybe Katie, but that's still a ways down there too. So.
Yeah. Oh.
Wait a minute.
I haven't even plugged in those
wait.
songs in yet.
Yeah,
that's how far down.
I will say this. I'm gonna early claim Life in a Nutshell.
All right, I will put you.
I want that because that is definitely one of my favorites. So I feel like
I'll put you down for War on Drugs. I'll put you down for Life in a Nutshell.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me this week and for coming in last minute. I really super appreciate it. I don't know what's going on
Not
with
a
Richard.
problem.
Like, maybe he'll come back. I hope he does. But, that was really weird. I've never had a guest space like that.
He's a busy man. No, he gets calls, and it's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's a really great guy. So I don't hold it.
I hope he doesn't. I hope he doesn't start 69. That's all I have to say.
Yes.
Yeah. Because then he might know where that call came from, and this could end badly. But
why?
Because I'm the one that called him. I didn't say that.
Oh, Jeff. I'm not going to hold it back against you this time. Because we had a great conversation.
I told him he left the iron on.
I won't tell Aaron that you were the cause of this.
Yeah, please don't. Please don't.
He won't hold it against you.
Yeah, I can't get him to stay around long enough when I'm on anyway. So don't. One of these days.
Well, thank you for joining us. On the airwaves. Join us next week for Give It Back to You, and I hope to talk to you soon.
Yes, have a good night, everyone.
Thanks, that was fun. Don't forget, no regrets, except maybe one.
To celebrate joining Pantheon Podcasts, Rock Camp, the podcast, the official podcast of Rock and Roll Fantasy Camp, is giving away a guitar signed by Mike Portnoy of Dream Theater, Marty Friedman, formerly of Megadeth, and legendary shredder Zakk Wylde, plus our rockstar counselors like Vinny Appice, Monty Pittman, and more. To enter to win, simply follow, rate, and review our podcast on your preferred platform, and that's all you have to do. For more information, go to rockcamp.com/podcast.